In Scandinavia, we love coffee. Coffee is always a good reason to meet people and share some stories. But today I'm going to switch coffee for something different. I was invited for a tea ritual with my friend Frode, who is a Tai Chi teacher. I know very little about Chinese traditions, so I hope Frode can tell me more about them. I arrive at the Tai Chi center with many questions. Why is Tai Chi so important in China? Is tea culture similar to coffee culture? What exactly is Tai Chi? And of course, I'm curious to hear how Frode became a Tai Chi teacher. Frode has been practicing Tai Chi for 15 years and opened his studio in the heart of Trondheim 5 years ago. He welcomes me before one of his evening practices.
Please have a cup of tea.
This is Chinese tea?
Yes. So this isn't a standard way to do this tea ceremony, because this is kind of messy. Because I don't have the correct gear, but it works.
You drink more tea than coffee then, I assume?
Yes.
Do you have a relationship with coffee?
Addiction.
Addiction to coffee. Both coffee and tea has a lot of similarities in the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
You can sort of meet and talk to people over a cup of coffee or tea in this case.
Yeah, it's a good campfire, I guess.
Yeah, like an icebreaker.
Yeah, and also I hear, now scientifically I have no idea, but I hear that they have the same molecule. Like they call it thein in tea and they call it caffeine in coffee.
What is like the importance of tea in the Tai Chi and the meditation scene? What is the connection there?
I can answer the question maybe in a variety of ways. It's because we practice Tai Chi. Tai Chi is from China, and in China they love tea. I still remember the first time I was in China, I tried to get coffee. It wasn't so easy. It wasn't on every corner.
No?
No, that's why. So maybe one of the main reasons that it's tea is because we're inspired by the Chinese culture. One of the reasons we drink tea after practice, it's just so we get to know the people we practice with, and not just okay, practice over, let's go home. It's just brew some tea and then we sit here and chat. Like the social aspect is maybe the more important part of it. The good flavor is just a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coffee is a social thing, but when you're a little bit extra geeky like me, then the flavor becomes the thing to talk about. How to start the conversation. What do you think about this? How do you think it tastes? Could you tell me exactly what Tai Chi is? I've heard about it for a long time, but I don't really know exactly what it is.
Yeah, so the problem is with your question is that it's so exact. I cannot tell you exactly what Tai Chi is, but I can tell you my point of view as it is today.
Okay.
Or I can simplify it by saying it's a training form where we practice our balance and coordination. Some people call it meditation in motion, shadow boxing, mastering changes, because a lot of it is just shifting our weight from one leg to the other, and then what happens in the body mechanics, and then we observe our minds and our body, and we become one with the universe. I say it kind of like in a joking manner, but maybe that's the goal with meditation and everything. So
it started as a hobby, but now it's your profession.
Yes.
How did you become your profession?
Passion, I guess. I wanted to have a hobby, and I wanted the hobby to be my work.
It's kind of like me. Coffee started as a hobby, and then now it became my work.
Yeah, but my obstacle was to find something I enjoyed doing enough that I could become at least somewhat proficient in it.
And now what's your title? You're a Tai Chi master, or?
No, far from it. I'm a Tai Chi teacher. And I'm a Tai Chi student first. So I still practice.
You started in China practicing, or that's where?
Oslo.
In Oslo?
Yeah, Oslo has everything.
Really?
Yeah, it's the capital, All kinds of teachers or people that want to expand their network, they come to Oslo and they have weekend courses. So I think one of my first profound meetings with the Qigong or martial artist teacher was in Oslo when he came to have a weekend workshop. But then, as the years went by, I had to find someone who was there always. And then I stumbled upon Pamela, who is now my teacher. I just stayed with her. I didn't have to go to China to learn Tai Chi. She's been doing this for 40 years now, or maybe more. She has had her Tai Chi center in Norway for 40 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's pioneer.
But you've been traveling around China quite a bit as well, haven't you?
I've been to China 3 times, different errands. But it's like, yeah, I know Tai Chi comes from China, but the teachers that I have had the most profound meetings with is Pamela Haile in Oslo, in Norway, and then it's the Wikijin in New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand.
Yeah. I met super cool Tai Chi teachers in China too, but I didn't stay there long enough, or language barriers made it not the same experience. A Tai Chi teacher with the same language that I can understand, and the pedagogic is not always enough that the teacher is good at his art. Let's say art. He or she also has to be good at explaining or teaching. You can meet someone that's really, really good at something, but they don't know how to pass on the knowledge.
Yeah.
They also have to have a passion to pass on the knowledge. Yeah. And I found that in both Wikijin and Pamela. China, well, I'm more experienced, like, wow, this culture that is with Tai Chi. So I got some good perspective out of that as well, of course.
I remember when I was in China, I noticed everywhere people are doing, I don't know, is it Tai Chi that people are doing in the parks?
Yeah, either it's Tai Chi or Qigong or maybe some other martial art.
Yeah.
Or maybe just dancing. They also go there just to steam out in some way or just do some exercise. Did you experience that also?
I didn't do it, but I watched people. Yeah. I found it really fascinating. When I was very young when I was there, so I didn't know anything, or just found everything extremely fascinating.
When were you there?
2012, I think. 10 years ago. No.
I was in Hong Kong, I remember. I was walking far, and then finally I met a girl I could see she was Western, and she was a guide or something. So I just asked her, hey, where can I find a coffee shop? So a couple of blocks that way. And then when I came there, it was like, I wasn't in China anymore. I wasn't in Hong Kong anymore. All of a sudden I was back in Europe for a moment.
When I was in Shanghai and Beijing, I found a few pretty decent coffee shops. But I guess outside of the big cities it's difficult to find.
Yeah, most likely. I don't know now because, it's rapidly changing.
That's actually a thing now. People in the coffee industry are sort of talking about, because of climate change, the available coffee is less and more expensive. And China now, the specialty coffee in China is becoming really popular. So people are afraid that China is going to buy all the specialty coffee. So there's not going to be anything available for the rest of the world, because there's so many people.
Yeah,
and so many. If just a small percentage of them get interested in coffee, that's all the coffee in the world.
Yeah. So tea is better. We should remind the Chinese that they already have the best stuff.
Yes.
And then we can keep the coffee for ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, I heard that also about milk and milk chocolate, and China hasn't been big on milk.
No.
As far as I know.
I think it's a genetic thing. Like in general, people with Asian genetics can tolerate milk a lot less than Scandinavians or than like Western Europeans.
I don't know if that's a fact or true, but
I don't know.
Also the availability, or that it wasn't in their culture before. But now I also heard more and more campaigns about milk is good for you, also in China.
Oh, really?
And trying to convince that it can be good.
Oh, that's interesting.
Then again, if all Chinese people, I don't know how many they are, get hooked on milk.
Yeah.
Then
you need a lot of cows.
Yeah, we need a lot of cows and a lot of dairy products. So
Yeah.
it's maybe a big enough problem that we enjoy milk.
Yeah. Do you ever drink tea with milk?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Like
Is it a controversy?
English breakfast tea
Yeah.
with milk and honey. I enjoy that.
So that, is it only like the commercial tea that you put milk in, or do you also do it in the high-end teas?
Well, this high-end tea, I prefer to not mix with anything because it's good enough.
Yeah.
And then
It's
maybe
kind of the same with coffee.
Yeah. So when I get English breakfast tea, it tastes better with milk and honey.
Yeah. I agree. If I have like an old Italian-style coffee, I need milk in it. Then it tastes good.
Yeah. I learned that Italian roast for me. I tried it as an espresso once, and I'm like, what's this?
Yeah.
I enjoy the espressos. This is not what I enjoy. What is this? Give me some milk in it.
Yeah, exactly. This tea is interesting though. It smells and tastes a little bit like barnyard. Like
It's not the best puer I ever tasted, but I think it's okay. It's kind of round. It's not like in any way, but it's also not like in any way. It's just
How is puer
level.
tea made? Do you know?
It's fermented tea. Exactly how they make it, I don't know, but it's storage tea. They do something with it, compress it, and they pile it away in the correct temperature, and then it gets better and better. It should be at least 7 years before you start drinking it.
7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before it's matured enough to be good. And then it becomes better and better the next years.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Like fermented is kind of like natural coffees. There's a fermented coffee, but that adds a lot of fruitiness and sweetness. This is more bitter, I would say. Not like bitter, but it's like there's more bitterness than it is in green tea. Would you agree? Green tea is fresher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't know how to brew the green tea, it will be easier also to make that bitter. If it's too warm water, or if you have it in the water too long, it becomes the bitterness comes out faster. It's my experience. So it's also easier to fuck up the green tea.
Yeah.
Oh no, am I allowed to swear on TV?
Yes. As long as it's not in the first 30 seconds of a video. So today you're about to have a class here now.
Yeah.
How many classes do you have a week? And what kind of?
About at least 2 each day.
2 classes a day?
Yeah. And some days, or on Wednesday, I have 4 classes, 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. So at the moment, I just had a count. I think it's about 70 people practicing here.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else doing Tai Chi in Trondheim, or are you the only one?
I'm not the only one, but I think it's the only place that has daily Tai Chi practice, and that's like what we do. I know there's a karate center on Ila that also has Tai Chi, but as far as I know, we are the only one that's Tai Chi. That's what we do.
Do you want to teach me a technique or something? Show me something.
Yeah, that's difficult. You can copy me.
Yeah?
Yeah? All right, that would be fun.
I have no balance whatsoever, and I'm stiff as a tree. So.
All right. Well, standing as a tree in Tai Chi is good.
Okay, hold on. Then I'll be a master at that.
That's just sturdy. Yeah. Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah.
You know, this is like learning a new language.
Oh, you gotta start somewhere.
Just the first movements is like learning a couple of sentences in Russian. This is Kenneth learning Tai Chi, take 1. Feel like the top of the head is suspended from above, so you will be upright. Sink into the right leg. 100%. Step. Shift. Sink into the left leg, turn. Shift into the right leg, sink, step, shift into ward off left, turn left, make a ball, turn right on the toe, all the way into the left leg, step, shift, ward off right. front left. Gather, press. Gather all the fingers. Send out the right arm. Step with the left. Good. And then push. Okay, you did well.
I can see how this is relaxing, or like it sort of calms you down within if you're sort of focusing on these things.
Yeah, because it's difficult and it's a lot of focus work, and especially in the beginning it's so difficult that your mind is completely occupied with the task. Of course it's easier when you get the fundamentals first, and then I teach one movement at a time, and then we can go through the details.
I probably need this. My brain is so chaotic and stressed all the time. So
Yeah, you're not the first person who said, I probably should do this more.
yeah.
It's good to relax. And that's what Tai Chi is learning to relax.
Well, thank you.
My pleasure.
Just you can have a coffee bag.
Today is not the day I will quit my addiction.
No.
Okay, thanks Kenneth.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Langøra coffee. All right.
I'll see you later then.
See you.
Enjoy your lesson.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Ha det bra.
Ha det bra.